a little bit at the beginning of this segment. It's a Avatar of Might deck. Okay, let's check it out versus Bant Spirits. All right, so this deck. All right, we've got reading happening, and that's because there's going to be some weird cards. And that card that he's reading right now is Forbidden Orchard. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, but whenever you do, target opponent creates a 1/1 spirit.
So, Maria, not only is Lee reading the very first card that's played in the game, but this is not even game 1.
You're right.
It's game 2,
is game
and
2.
he's still reading every card in David's deck. This is just what I love to see. But note that Lee Landy, with his more traditional, his more conservative Bant Spirits deck choice, he is up a game. But we'll see if David Jovino can actually do his thing in this game and show us what 5-color Avatar of Might is all about.
Okay, so Reed, how in the heck does David Jovino get ahead when he's giving his opponent free creatures?
Well, his whole deck is based around the premise of giving the opponent's creatures. So here's an example of a card that can neutralize the negative effects of giving his opponent creatures. So Amulet of Safekeeping, among other things, is going to reduce the power of opposing creature tokens. So he can now give Lee Landy as many spirit tokens as he would like with that Forbidden Orchard and not worry about his life total falling too low.
Yeah, creature tokens get -1/-0. There you go.
I will put an addendum on that, which is that Lee Landy's deck has 8 Spirit Lords in it, which is going to punish that Forbidden Orchard.
Oh, boy.
So a lot of fun stuff going on in this matchup already.
This is ridiculous. Droxkull Captain hits the table for Lee Landy, and like you said, there's a Spirit Lord, so nice Amulet of Safekeeping, bro. I can still attack you.
But to backtrack to your original question, the concept of his deck is to give the opponents a bunch of creatures, neutralize those creatures via cards like Amulet of Safekeeping and Ghostly Prison, and then employ cards that actually punish the opponent for having creatures.
Right.
Cards like Avatar of Might, the namesake of the deck. This is an 8/8 trample that costs discounted price 6 less colorless mana to cast if the opponent has 4 creatures. Additionally, he has 4 copies of Trespasser's Curse. For those of you that might not remember this one, this was a dubious limited common.
Oh, yes.
From
People loved it, though.
Yeah, that makes the opponent get drained for 1 life every time a creature enters the battlefield under their control. So using techie cards like this, David can both protect himself from opposing creatures and punish the opponent for having too many creatures in play.
And there's a Ghostly Prison as well, Reed.
Yep, Ghostly Prison.
Creatures cannot attack you unless their controller plays 2 for each creature he or she controls that's attacking you. I gotta say, this is really cool, but running into the Spirits matchup is just pretty bad luck for this Avatar of Might deck.
But yeah, this is what Magic the Gathering's all about, is brewing up a wacky deck like this, come to a Grand Prix tournament, and seeing what you can do.
I love it. I am 100% making this deck. It seems so sweet. It's just so weird. Lee Landy here.
5:30 Commander event, 5:30 Commander. Your tournament is now starting at the
Okay, that's Worship. I don't know exactly how that's gonna come into play here. It's very good in the sense that he's always gonna have creatures in play. That's the whole concept of the matchup. It's not particularly good against Trespasser's Curse, since Worship only protects you from damage and not loss of life. So while this is a card that certainly does some things and might shut off a couple of routes to victory for David Jovino, it's not lights out. Jovino does have ways to beat this.
Wow. A lot of bizarre cards on display here in this matchup. Both these players, by the way, 4-2 coming into round 7, so both live for day 2 currently, but whoever loses this round will be out of contention. Good run to them, though, this deep in the tournament.
This feels more like our Magic trivia section of today's coverage, which is like, how many of these super weird cards can you actually identify?
I certainly didn't recognize Worship when it came down. And there's Trespasser's Curse that Lee's going to take a look at there. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under enchanted player's control, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
Yeah.
I love it.
So now we actually usually don't have access to card viewer on Time Walk Match, but I think we did an emergency reconfiguration to make sure that we had access to card viewer for this particular matchup. And I have to say I'm glad for it, because I don't know that I would be able to identify all these cards.
I mean, Aura Curse is just so cool. I'm all for, like, I guess modern playable curses.
And excuse me, correction, I had mentioned that Trespasser's Curse was from Innistrad. It's actually from Amonkhet. So not the first curse set, but a more recent one.
3 spirits already for Lee Landy off of that Forbidden Orchard. And here's Supreme Phantom. But remember, Lee has got to pay if he wants to attack. Oh, and this is the point in the when the lights got killed for a tiny little bit. We were watching earlier this round, since it's a Time Walk Magic. This is when that happened. And here's Drog Skull Captain getting in for 4.
Boy, and what I'm starting to see here is the way that the life gain from Trespasser's Curse. Remember, this is a drain, not just the opponent losing a life, but the way that combined with Ghostly Prison makes it really, really hard to kill David Jovino.
Yeah. Still at a very healthy life total here at this point, with so many creatures in play on Landy's side of the table. Let's see what other tricks David has in store for us here in this Avatar of Might deck, and a lot of it online right now, as Lee Landy has more creatures in play than David does, and some of his cards require that in order to cast them for their discounted prices. There's Ghostly Prison number 2. All right, Taxman's here.
By the way, it must be mentioned that David Jovino's mana base features 1 plains, 1 forest, 1 island, 1 mountain, and 1 swamp.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Nice. And also, you know, always has it. There's a forest, mountain, plains in play. So, does Banned Spirits play some enchantment removal in the sideboard?
Yeah, one of the key cards that Lee Landy is going to be looking for here is Knight of Autumn.
Oh, sure,
yeah. Of which he actually only has 1 copy. Sometimes you see more than that in the sideboard. He also has 1 Dramoka's Command, but that's that causes a player to sacrifice an enchantment, so that would be David Jovino's choice of what to sacrifice. But not too much in the way of removal for these Ghostly Prisons. Landy's going to have to do this the hard way.
Taking another look at Trespasser's Curse there, and if I'm not mistaken, that's a Wooburg tattoo on Landy's hand. That, or he just wrote it on his hand to remind him what colors exist in Magic.
No, that's cool.
Wait, have you ever contemplated a Magic tattoo, Reed? Just think, a Liliana of the Veil back.
I guess I'm contemplating it now that you mention it.
Tattoo.
Yeah, sure.
All right, all right.
I wonder how many people Lee encounters in his daily life that actually know what Wooburg means.
Oh my gosh. Ghostly Prison number 3 for Jovino. It's going to cost 6 for Landley to attack. And that's 2, and that is 6 for each creature that they control that's attacking, by the way.
So that means Lee needs another land to attack with 1 creature, and it would cost him a life because of his Horizon Canopy.
Lock the doors and throw away the key. You are in prison, my friend.
Yeah, he's in prison bad.
Ooh, nice. Deafening Clarion on the draw there for David Jovino.
It actually doesn't kill...
Oh yeah,
the
Supreme Phantom is in play.
Which that might be... Yeah, I mean, he can kill the Noble Hierarchs, which would do a lot in terms of reducing Landy's ability to attack. So taking out those 2 Hierarchs is not bad at all. I also see that Jovino is packing Boros Charm, which he can hold to protect Ghostly Prison from a possible Knight of Autumn, or just send 4 points of damage at Landy's face.
Sure. And here's a Deafening Clarion from Jovino, and that's going to clear up.
Those should have 4 toughness, right? Because they're 1/1s with +1 from each of the Spirit Lords.
Yep, yep. They might be figuring this out now. This is a time walk match. Also, by the way, 2 Drogskull captains have a pretty nice effect on the table.
Right, giving all spirits hexproof.
Deafening Clarion, of course, doesn't really care about hexproof, but just a handy little thing to know that 2 Drogskull captains equals hexproof for the rest of the team. We've got some spicy sorcery. Someone from chat put it happening on the left side of the table here. 5-color Avatar of Might. We've yet to see David cast any of the kind of the quote-unquote payoff cards from playing this deck, which include Avatar of Might, which you can pay for a couple of mana and gets you a giant trampler. Hunted Phantasm is a giant 4/6 flyer that's unblockable. Hunted Troll is an 8/4 that can regenerate for a single green mana. Nonsense like that.
So you don't consider Trespasser's Curse to be a payoff card?
Okay, fair point, fair point. Leland is at 9. I dare you to play another creature.
Yeah, and he's not locked out in a technical sense, but I don't think he's winning this game. I mean, he'd have to destroy multiple permanents or assemble 3 more lands before he can attack at all, and he's losing at least 1 life per turn based on the Trespasser's Curse Forbidden Orchard combo.
And like you mentioned, this Trespasser's Curse does get around that worship. Boros Charm's going to get a spell quellered here, to which the crowd behind us boos. There's another Spirit. Path to Exile.
That's not legal.
No, 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 no. No, no, no! It's a time walk match. We can't do anything. Our hands are tied. Well, you know what? We're having fun.
Yeah, I think the outcome of this game is going to be correct, but I think there have been a couple of procedural missteps.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Jovino basically has this all locked up with the triple Ghostly Prison and the Trespasser's Curse ticking away. Remember, there is worship on Lelandy's side, but the Trespasser's Curse is going to circumvent the worship clause by causing him to lose 1 life.
All right, and we're just going to scoop them up here. That is game number 2 going to David Jovino and this just bizarre Avatar of Might deck. So we're tied up here. Banned Spirits versus the Avatar of Might. Ether Vial on turn 1 here for the Spirits player. Exactly what you want to be doing. Let's see if David could get things online as well as he did last game.
I think that's just a different art of Forbidden Orchard.
Yep.
But yeah, the Ether Vial is nice in theory because it could allow you to develop your board by playing creatures while spending your mana to negate a Ghostly Prison. So the mana advantage of Ether Vial, you can easily imagine how it's going to come in big in this type of matchup.
Supreme Phantom here for Lelandy. Ether Vial ticking up to 1, and there is the Forbidden Orchard, giving Landy a spirit. How nice.
You got to be careful given those spirits.
I
with
know.
The,
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, does he have the amulet of safekeeping? I don't think he does. Rakdos Charm.
Yeah, Rakdos Charm could deal 1 damage to the opponent for each creature they control, so you can see how that is an important card with
That's pretty
David
spicy.
Uvino's strategy here.
There's another spirit for you. There's the Rakdos Charm.
He's going to destroy the vial instead.
Ooh, yeah. Get that vial out of here. But not before I put in my Hark.
But look, he's taking a big hit here
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of damage.
He really needs to draw and resolve a Deafening Clarion on his next turn.
All right, what's the attack going to be? Oh, yeah, get in with those free spirit tokens. David Uvino knocking down to 5 there because of the +1/+1 ability of spirits on that Supreme Phantom. Pretty unlucky for David's game plan here.
There you have Geist of St. Traff. So Deafening Clarion would be a game changer.
Oh, no draw. Amulet of Safekeeping is what David Uvino ends up with here. And he is up against it. And he's just going to say go. Landy's going to go grab a land here. But in fantastic position with no Clarion from David Uvino. I gotta say, I love that he got to 4 and 2 here.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. All right, land number 4 into play for Lee Landy. And Supreme Phantom number 2.
So he's representing an attack for 16 here, lethal.
Oh my gosh. Swings in. We've got an Assassin's Trophy, but you're going to get another Spirit here. There's the trophy to save him from death. Supreme Phantom down. That's 10, right?
Yeah, it looks like 10 to me. 11, actually.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, so we've got Clarion or bust pretty much for Uvino next draw.
Yeah, even Ghostly Prison is... Geist of St. Tract is very effective against Ghostly Prison.
Pass back over to Uvino. What is it? Oh, it's the payoff card, Avatar of Might.
At least he can cast it.
Yeah, he sure can. Oh, he can cast it and then die. I do love it, though. Let's see it. Get an 8/8 Trampler out there for 2 mana. Nice. There's the Amulet of Safekeeping.
Man, casting Avatar of Might was really cool when I was 12, and it's still really cool now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love my Dino Singleton deck. And there is the handshake. Lee Landy takes down that match in 3 games versus David Uvino and his 5-color Avatar of Might deck. And Reed, I gotta say, this is one of the things I love about Modern is people bringing these brews to a tournament like this, doing, piloting them to a pretty respectable finish. Like, he beat 4 people today.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. We had a little something for everybody that round. For the Spikes, we had Sam Black playing Ironworks 7-0, and for the fun lovers out there, we had David Uvino, bringing his best with this very, very crazy deck full of cards that will not see anywhere else in Modern or in Magic at all.
or in Magic at all. All right, well, I'm definitely going to have to check that deck out later on. Pairings going up behind us for the next round. More Magic coming up in just a few minutes.